how often should you shower while you're traveling? You're going to want to shower every 5 minutes because it is hot out here and I'm constantly sweating and I'm like, there's no way that this smells good. Okay, so we just left our overnight stay at Harvest Host in Oklahoma City. We stayed at a place called Cityside Farms, and so far it's actually been my favorite place that we've stayed. The first place we stayed with Harvest Host, Moosey Farms, was great. All the animals and everything, and the hosts were really, really nice. But this one, I don't know, I just really liked it. It's a younger couple with a kid that own this farm, right? And they have donkeys. There's a baby donkey, and they have chickens, and there's a dog named Eva running around. It's the friendliest dog in the history of dogs. But the husband and wife, Sarah and Corey, they have a son, a little son, 18 months old, I think, named Jonah. Cutest little kid. But their location, it's right off the freeway, but you don't feel like you're right off the freeway, so that part was good. And it's a lot of space. I think there's like 14 acres or something. And they had space for 3 different RVs, and there were already 2 there when we got there. And we ended up back by the donkey barn, as we're going to call it, in this little corner, and it felt so nice. Like, it was 95 degrees out, but because of the trees and the barn, it gave us shade and everything else, so it felt really nice out. They grow their own vegetables. They had some vegetables there, like they grow kale, and I think the other one was chard, I don't know how you say it. And then they have the eggs from the chickens. They grow little tomatoes and things like that, but they also make sourdough and cinnamon rolls, and we got some cinnamon rolls from them this morning. We haven't had them yet. Stupid excited to eat those. We got some kale and some eggs and some tomatoes from them also, so that's going to be breakfast in the morning or dinner tonight. I don't know if I can wait till breakfast because they all looked really good. But the place was really nice. It's very quiet given how close it was to, Oklahoma City. We were like 10 minutes away from downtown Oklahoma. But it was really, really nice. And like I said, the people were really nice. And I've learned that farming, whether you're farming like agricultural, big, whether it's 2,500 acres or 14 acres, it's still a lot of work no matter what. But you get to, reap reap the benefits, reap the rewards, reap what you sow sounds like the wrong one. That sounds like a bad one. But they get to grow their own food, and not only do they get to eat it, but they get to sell it to the people who stay there through Harvest Host. They also go to these markets where people bring their own stuff, and they sell stuff there. And it's just really cool, and it looked like a really good way for families to kind of work together, stay together, and teach the kids and things. Their son's 18 months old, but he's already running around with chickens and donkeys, and that's really cool. And so he's going to understand farm life as he's getting older, which is really neat. Leaving there, which I was sad. I was like, we could stay another day. There's nothing to do. I mean, when you go to a Harvest Host, generally speaking, there's nothing to do. But if they have animals, look at the animals, play with the animals, or talk to the owners about what they're doing there. But we put up chairs this morning and just found a little spot with some shade and drank coffee and just sat there and kind of watched donkeys run around, which was lovely. But now we're actually headed to a KOA campground in Raton.
This is our first journey?
This is our first journey. So there's the KOA journeys, there's the KOA holidays, and there's the KOA resorts. The 2 we've stayed at so far have been KOA holidays. This will be our first KOA journey. And the journey is the one that's like the no frills, no bells, no whistles. There's a bathroom, there's a shower, and there's a place to put your vehicle and, hook up and then leave. And this one might have a laundry room. The holidays have a laundry room also, but this one I think has a laundry room also, which would be good. We can watch a couple things. But this one, the one we're going to in, I think it's Raton. I think it's how you say Raton, New Mexico. There's no gate or anything to get in or out. So, because I was worried that it's like a 7-hour drive from where we're leaving in Oklahoma City to get there. So I called the place and I was like, hey, listen, we're going to be kind of sort of late. We're looking at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And the guy was like, oh, that's fine. The office closes at 7, but we'll leave your reservation information and a map for you and you'll be good to go. So that's a plus. I don't have to worry about a gate code or anything like that. Downside, there's no gate code, so like anybody and their mama can walk into the whole area. But that was the same way at the KOA holiday that we stayed in Hot Springs, Arkansas. They didn't have a gate. The very first one we went to in Mount Pleasant, it was gated. If you didn't have a code, you weren't getting in. The last one we stayed at, even though it was a KOA holiday, it didn't have a gate or anything. Anybody could just walk in or out. I don't think anybody did, but they could. And then the journey, there's no gates there because the whole point in the KOA journeys, they are closer to main freeways, so that as you're driving, if you're like, listen, I just can't make it any farther, there's an easy option for you to pull over and hook up in a safe place to pull over and sleep, as opposed to trying to just, you know, hunker down in a gas station parking lot or grocery store parking lot. Sometimes they don't appreciate that. So the KOA journeys are closer to the interstate for travelers, so you can have a safe place to stay at. It'll cost you money, but you also have the ability for hookups, water, electric. There's no cable from what I saw at the one we're going to. They're like, if you want to watch TV, paid it for you. Hope you have a DVD player or something, I guess. But right now, leaving Oklahoma City, it said it was 107 degrees outside. No, this is not what I want to do in life. I do not want to live where it's 107 degrees. That is awful. Oh, and the place where we're going, it said that there's going to be thunderstorms, and I've never been so excited about rain in my life, because it should take the temperature down into the mid-70s. Fingers crossed. Side note, when you're traveling, just anywhere you're going, I don't even care where it is at this point in time, make sure you have bug spray on you. And make sure you use it. Don't wait till it's too late and your legs look like a polka dot checkerboard kind of thing like mine do right now. I did not think about the bug spray necessities when we went to our first Harvest Host stay at Musi Farms. I didn't think about it, and I saw all the little flying things, and I felt them land on my legs and my arms. But with mosquitoes, you see immediate results, and I was like, oh, well, there's nothing there. I'm sure it's nothing. It's probably just flies. No, it's something. My mom said they're called chiggers, C-H-I, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how you spell the rest of it, but those are the ones that they bite you and you don't realize it until the next day, and then you look like you have chicken pox. And that's basically what my legs and ankles look like. The kid, he's got some too, but it's very noticeable on my legs and ankles. It's not fun. So make sure you have bug spray with you, and then on top of bug spray, go ahead and bring some Benadryl, or what is it, calamine lotion. I think that's the one, the pink one that's supposed to take the itch out. Make sure you have one of those on you as well. What else we got?
Make sure you have a fan.
Oh, and make sure you have a fan, because even though we're running the AC as much as humanly possible, it still gets warm. And if there is the ability to turn off the AC or put it on low and maybe pull some air from outside, have a fan with you also to kind of help circulate it. It really helps. We're sleeping 3 on our in the Class B. We've got a Class B, so we're sleeping 3 deep back there, and there is no pop-up, there's no slide-outs, nothing like that. But the kid and the man sleep in the middle, and I sleep on the edge because I always have to potty in the middle of the night. So I sleep on the edge, and the AC does not hit me there. So while those two are bundled up and cozy, I'm like, can't breathe. So got a little fan to I just aim it directly at my face to make life easier. So make sure you have a little fan with you in the RV, because it will definitely come in handy, whether it's at night, during the day. Even if you want to sit outside and it's kind of sort of nice, if you have the ability to plug in on the outside of your van or somewhere, plug that in and get a little extra breeze from a fan.
Plug that Harvest Host for the fact that they don't get paid to be hosts.
No, we don't know that. So here's the thing.
No, that's what the website says.
So when you sign up for Harvest Host, it's like $100 to sign up. The actual Harvest Hosts themselves don't get paid, though. I think the money you're using to sign up goes to the website and all that kind of stuff. But they don't get paid. Your Harvest Hosts don't get paid. So a lot of times the places you're staying, they have something they can sell you, or they take donations. Please, if they have something to sell, buy something. If they take donations, please donate. Do something to help them, because technically they are helping you by giving you someplace safe that you can spend the night and spend the day or whatever else. So make sure that you are taking care of your Harvest Host no matter where you're going.
More updates to come.
More updates to come as we go. Right now, it is very windy. I'm in the passenger seat, but I can feel the van kind of swishing. And like I told him as he's driving, I was like, to me, it kind of feels like right when you're about to hydroplane a little bit. That's what it feels like in the passenger seat. Although there's no rain, there's no water, there's no hydroplaning. Just the way the wind hits it and it moves you a little bit, that's what it feels like.
I wonder if the Class A's are more sturdy.
I would definitely think the Class A's are probably more sturdy, because they're short and they're longer length. So like semi-trucks, they're taller than this, but they're not as tall as a semi-truck. And semi-trucks, they will sway and get tipped over. But I think Class A's they're closer to the ground. So I would think that they're going to definitely be sturdier as a in the wind kind of situation. How often should you shower while you're traveling? You're going to want to shower every 5 minutes, because it is hot out here and I'm constantly sweating, and I'm like, there's no way that this smells good. I've been reapplying deodorant like it was I don't know, lotion. I don't know. I'm putting deodorant on a lot. Make sure you have baby wipes. Please make sure you have baby wipes, because if you can't shower, you still need to hit all the cracks and crevices with something so that your van doesn't start to smell. That's all I'm going to put out there like that. I know that sounds some kind of like, don't really care. Make sure that you don't stink. For showers, since we are going harvest host to KOA to harvest host to KOA, we're showering every 48 hours. We're going a day in between showers, which is, if you have baby wipes, you're okay. Baby wipes, deodorant, body spray, and maybe a stuffy nose to help. I don't know, but showering as much as you want to do it every day, unless you're staying at a KOA all the time, it's almost impossible, at least in our van. We do have a shower setup, but you also need to have the fresh water and water hookups, and not every harvest host is going to have hookups for electricity or water. So make sure that if those are things you must have, that you check that when you are signing up with your harvest host, because a lot of these places are, hey, here, camp out in, my driveway, my backyard, I have space, but that's all they have. They'll be like, hey, here's a garden hose, you can use a garden hose, but they're not all gonna have electricity or the ability to really hook up to a lot of stuff.
I recommend a shower bag.
Oh yeah, the shower bags for outside of the van.
No, not just outside, for the KOA, where you can take all your stuff, like your clothes, your towels.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can hang it on the door. Yeah. Because the showers are nice so far, but there's not a lot of space.
Not a lot of room.
There's like 2 hooks.
So that's what I did. We stopped at a Salt Life store in Charleston? No, Destin? I don't remember which one I got it at, but I got a bag. It's like a mesh, not a mesh. It's like I don't know what kind of bag it is, but it's like a little drawstring cinchy bag. And I use it to go take my showers. I have a towel in there. I put my change of clothes in there. I have whatever I need for contact, clean my face, brush my teeth, whatever in there. And I can just hang it up on the door. And if the outside gets wet, it's going to kind of wick off as opposed to absorb it. As long as I don't put it directly in the shower, it's fine. But definitely have some sort of shower travel bag that you can take with you, so you don't have to lug everything around in your arms, because once you get there, if you don't even where to set it,
That's it for now.
Yeah, that's it for now. So I'm going to keep you guys updated as we're getting into New Mexico. I'm very curious what it's like. Never been to New Mexico before.
Speed limit in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
No tolerance.
So the speed limit in Oklahoma is actually 75 in a lot of places, which is awesome. However, that 75 is a no tolerance 75. So don't try to do 75.5. They could pull you over, no problem. Especially if it says no tolerance underneath it. I noticed in certain stretches it literally said no tolerance right underneath the speed limit. Other places it doesn't say it. So I don't know if it's like everywhere is no tolerance, or just in certain higher trafficked areas, or the touristy looking areas. Maybe there's the no.
When we came into Oklahoma from Arkansas,
yeah,
that's where it was, heading west.
Yeah.
But right now we're heading west in Oklahoma towards New Mexico. It's still 75, but it doesn't say no tolerance.
Yeah, these don't say no tolerance. So maybe it's not statewide, maybe it's just certain areas. But keep an eye out for stuff like that. Like, don't get all excited because they give you a higher speed limit, if that higher speed limit could get you in faster trouble. You know what I mean? You're tricky. You're tricky in Oklahoma. So
you gotta get that revenue.
Gotta make that revenue, yeah. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna put this down and pay attention to all the cows on the side of the road and stuff. Not like dead, but like in the pastures. I want to see what we're going through, because I've never been through here before, so I want to pay some attention. Back later. Oh, this is fuel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oil refinery.
Oil refinery. Oh wow. So we are in Raton, I don't know how you say it, New Mexico, at a KOA journey campground. It is our first journey campground we've been to. The other ones have been holidays. You can definitely tell a difference between the two. The journey is supposed to be if you're driving around and you're tired and you just need some quick place to stop, no bells, no whistles, whatever, this is where you go. And honestly, I understand it. There are no bells, there are no whistles. There's a lot of open space. There were more RVs you can see behind me. A lot of them have left. There was a lot of space for RVs, and it's a really big spot, right? But there's no pool, there's no just fanciness like you would find at a holiday. They do have a bathroom, it's clean, and there are showers and toilets in the women's, and then same thing over on the guys. They've got a laundry room, which I think all of them have, no matter where you go. I'm not 100% positive though. But driving into New Mexico we started in Oklahoma City. So we left Oklahoma City. went through part of Texas and into New Mexico, and we took all back roads, right? We didn't take the main freeway or anything because we want to see the actual country, not see the touristy, parts of the country. So driving through Texas, y'all, there were so many cattle. It was like the coolest thing. Taking back roads, if you guys are traveling, take the back roads. Yeah, some of them are a little rough to drive on. Not the best part of traveling, the roughness and the bouncing and everything else, and the not seeing a restaurant or a gas station or anything for literally hours on end. But seeing the countryside and everything else is so cool. So we saw tons of cattle through Texas, and then we saw oil refinery. I think it was the Phillips 66 oil refinery, which is really cool. And then getting into New Mexico, there is nothing. Like, there was nothing. It was just flat fields as far as you could see, and then like mountains out in the distance and no lights. So we're driving and it's nighttime. It's like the sun is going down and it was pitch black. It was definitely hard to see. So keep those things in mind while you guys are planning your routes and your courses and stuff like that. If you're going to be driving through certain areas at night, make sure you understand that there could be the possibility of low visibility. That part was a little hard. I don't do well at night driving, so that's why Kevin drives everywhere. I get blinded by the lights, and now that song is in my head. But so far, we got here, the journey, this KOA journey closed at 7 p.m. But I called the guy yesterday. His name was Grant. He was very, very nice. I called him yesterday. I'm like, hey, I think we're going to be there kind of late. What's the latest we can check in? And he said, the latest you can check in is before 11 a.m. the next day, which is funny because that's the checkout time. So it doesn't really matter what time you showed up. The fact that I called ahead, they put our map together they like circled the route to get to our site. They put the bathroom code on the map, and then they put it up in their little registration box. So when you show up late, you still have the ability to get a map so you can figure out where everything is. You can get the code to the bathroom, the Wi-Fi code. They have Wi-Fi here, which is crazy to me, but also great. But so far, everything's great. We got here probably close to 9:30 or 10 p.m. and they were shooting fireworks off somewhere behind us. So we got to listen to fireworks for a while, which was kind of cool. The weather here, we went from 104, according to the van, in Oklahoma City to 62 degrees here, and it's lovely. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I had on sweatpants this morning. I absolutely love it. It's great. But so far, this has been really fun. Like, even the kid is really enjoying traveling around, which I wasn't expecting. I expected her to be a little bit like, ugh, are we done yet? Can we be done? But she's enjoying it, and we're getting to do this as a family, which is the best part of all of it. I think that's it for right now. So what we're about to do is pack up here, and then we are heading to Denver, Colorado. We're actually going to stay at a hotel. I think tonight's the hotel. We're actually staying in a hotel tonight so we can sleep in a bed and just kind of take really good, nice long showers and eat in the restaurant at the hotel. Every once in a while you want to get out of the van for a better night's sleep, in all honesty, and not have to worry about the rocking and all this other stuff of the van when it's windy. So tonight is a hotel. I'm super excited, and I'll let you guys know what the journey is like from Raton, I still don't know how to say it. I'm going to say Raton, New Mexico, up into Denver, Colorado. I'm really excited. Hopefully it's a lot of mountains and hills. I'm excited about it though. I'll let you guys know how it goes.